This is really exciting. I'm so happy you're here and you're enthusiastic. I want to introduce you to Yvonne, who is a practitioner here at About Your Health. She's waving to you. She's been so gracious to let us use her clinic to do this. She was recently certified as a GAPS consultant, a practitioner, so she's learned how to help walk people through this process. And so we're glad to be here with her. She's been a great help to me as I've been preparing this. My name is Lauren Smallcomb, and this is my husband, Luke. I'm a registered nurse by profession, but really my training has mostly come as being a mom and trying to figure things out about health for my 3 children. I'm also a doula. I'm passionate about birth, and I love that part of when I get to be at births with moms. I started becoming interested in natural health about 5 years ago when my oldest son was born. I had a pretty traumatic birth experience, and I started asking questions and saying, why? Is this the right way? Is this really what this is all there is to it? And my husband and I started to examine our paradigm for health and if it really was because we believed it or just what we were taught. So this is when we started to really question things, around the time of my son's birth. And then for about 2 years I dug up and researched as much as possible vaccines, because that's an issue every parent has to decide, and I wanted to be informed. So that's kind of what pushed me into this natural health world. I'm looking to do a nutritional consultant program. That's my next thing, because I'm really passionate about food and how it connects to our health, and I want to have a more formal training in that. So if I sound a little bit jaded and maybe frustrated with mainstream medicine, I am. So that's why I sound it. I've worked in the ER, the emergency room, for 6 years, and it's proved invaluable for my understanding of what's working and what's not working. Understand that my passion for food and its connection to our health has been birthed out of a lot of pain, getting to the point of realizing it's not working in my own body and seeing so many other people suffering because the system is not helping them. So that's where a lot of my passion comes from. Tonight is a presentation on the GAPS diet, healing body, gut, and mind through the most nutrient-dense, easily digestible foods. So this is what we're focusing on here tonight. Everything that I'm covering is in this awesome book. Not everything, but none of my stuff is original. I'm pulling it from the maker of GAPS and other sources that are about the GAPS program. This is very introductory, so all the topics I'm covering go a lot deeper. So do your own homework for sure. Make sure you jot notes down on the slide that I'm on if you have questions. So we'll have a question and answer time instead of stopping at each slide. That could get kind of confusing. So please write those questions down, because we want to have a really interactive question and answer time with Yvonne and myself, okay? Kind of some scary pictures, but this is what my husband and I were bringing to the table when we started the GAPS program 5 months ago. I am a GAPS person. What I'm telling you about tonight physically is happened in my body and in my health history. It's me and it's him, for sure. As a child, I was diagnosed with chronic ear infections and had dose after dose of antibiotic. Developed an autoimmune disease called vitiligo, which is this right here. Obviously, I'm not African American, I'm not black, so it's not as noticeable on me, but it is an autoimmune process that happens in the body, and that happened at 5. And then I started getting seasonal allergies and headaches as a child. Besides those things, my childhood was pretty much stable, but then into my late teen years, I started getting acid reflux. And I wasn't overweight, I wasn't a smoker, I wasn't a drinker, I didn't eat greasy foods. Why was I getting acid reflux? No one had those answers for me. Into my childbearing years, which were younger than a lot of people have children, but I had constant reflux, headaches, irritable bowel syndrome developed, and I had really sick pregnancies. I was taking acid reflux medication and Advil almost every single day, which was really compounding the gut damage in my body. So after taking an antibiotic course in 2010 for that awful tonsillitis up there, I was so sick for months. My immune system could not bounce back. Probably in a span of 6 months, I had like 8 illnesses. And I was just a mess. At this point, I was getting 5 to 6 headaches every day, lasting the whole day. So pretty much every day of my week was a constant headache, and I had awful digestive distress daily. Just last winter, I can't believe it was so recent, we had every illness under the sun. We were constantly sick, and I just thought, well, this is how it's supposed to be, I guess, when you have kids. We had this stomach bug 3 different times, which was horrible, and we were just feeling pretty miserable. My husband came in very clearly lactose intolerant. He had acne, constant fatigue, and irritable bowel syndrome. And random infections. That was an awful abscess. It was probably some type of MRSA. I had it first and then he had it, but we constantly had weird infections like that. And for healthy young people, we should not be getting these things. This is a not so scary picture of my family. We really are sweet, I promise. So Lucas is 5, the little boy, Tess is 3, and my son Camden is 1. As we've been on this health journey, we've really been proactive about our kids' health. So we haven't been feeling so good, but we've really been trying to be preventative in their lives. And thank goodness they haven't shown any signs of any chronic disease as of yet. Our oldest son, though, was very, very picky with his eating, and that drove us crazy. And he was kind of underweight too, like 5th percentile. So since we've started GAPS, he's gained 5 pounds, and so has Tessa, who's also tiny too. And that's a lot for how little they are. That's a big amount in 5 months to be gaining. And that's because they eat everything in sight now. They're incredible eaters, and that's such a blessing to our heart. I mean, to be downing squash and avocado and eggs, I'm just like, this is a dream come true. Our baby, we adopted him a year ago, and he is a precious, sweet, wonderful gift from God. He was started out while I breastfed him for 5 months, which is a whole nother story. But I also gave him homemade formula because I wanted him to be getting good quality, nutrient-dense nutrition. And so from that point, and when we started introducing foods, it was always GAPS foods. So he has not shown any signs of anything, and we're really grateful for that. So we started GAPS 5 months ago with excitement and hope for finally feeling good. We were hopeful. It's been a challenging road, but I can gladly report that my digestive symptoms have greatly improved. My acid reflux is gone. My headaches have finally stabilized, also with the help of acupuncture and chiropractic. My intense cravings for ice, so it's really random, but it's a sign of anemia, is gone. My sugar and wheat addiction are gone. And as a child, I was called a lickadee, which is an Italian word for sweet tooth. My whole family knew I was just ravenous about sweets. I've been that way my whole life. And I haven't had sugar in 5 months, which is really exciting. My acne is gone. My immune system is rock solid. I was getting nose abscesses every week, which I had no idea why. They've disappeared, and the few colds that I've had this winter have been seriously unnoticeable. I have to stop and think, am I still sick? Which has just been incredible. But the most exciting thing for me is I'm actually watching my autoimmune disease reverse before my very eyes. Mine is really easy to tell if it's reversing because it's pigment. I can see it. I put my makeup on and I can see spots that were white since I was a child are starting to fill back in. This right here, I don't know if you can see, but this was all white a couple months ago, and there's starting to be spots here. That's one of my last biggest spots. So this is really exciting to me because I'm not sure if you know, but people with autoimmune diseases often trigger further autoimmune diseases. And there are some really scary autoimmune diseases that I don't want any part of. So to see my body reversing my autoimmune disease is so encouraging. We are still on this journey, though. My husband's IBS symptoms are gone. He's also feeling incredible. He's starting to tolerate small amounts of lactose without any problems. His complexion is now gorgeous, which is wonderful. And you would never know he's in grad school with 2 internships and 3 kids because his energy levels have completely done a 180. We still have work to do. We're going to continue the GAPS program until our symptoms are gone, until we can eat non-GAPS foods without problems, which we're not at that point yet. So it takes time. This is Dr. Natasha Campbell McBride. She is an amazing person who I'd love to meet one day. She holds a degree in medicine and postgraduate degrees in neurology and human nutrition. She was actually a neurologist, or a neurosurgeon, thank you. In her clinic in Cambridge, she specializes in nutrition for children and adults with behavioral learning disabilities and adults with digestive and immune system disorders. So my goal tonight is not to get you to do the GAPS program. I'm here to present this incredible protocol that I've learned about, because if I can't tell about it, I will just burst inside. We've seen so much healing so far, and if I can't share it, then that's a really hard thing for me. So I want to share this protocol with you, but please understand, I'm passionate about natural healing, and I'm here to encourage you to take control of your health and to find out what your family needs to be healthy and to do it. If it's the GAPS program that you need to be healed, do it, and it'll be so worth it, I'm sure. But whatever the case, I just want to emphasize these principles that are part of the GAPS program can be applied to anything, and you can benefit, your health can benefit greatly from these principles. So be encouraged with that.